The message arrived at 6:14 p.m. on a Tuesday. I was sitting on the floor of my studio apartment, folding laundry, when my phone buzzed. Group chat. Mom, we canceled your ticket. Have a nice taxi back home, loser. I stared at it for a long time, not because I was shocked, because I was trying to remember the last time she called me by my name. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. My brother would have called. My sister would have driven to their house and screamed. I typed okay, sent it, locked the phone. Then I laughed. It wasn't a happy laugh. It was the kind that comes up from somewhere hollow, like dropping a stone down a dry well and waiting for the splash that never comes. The ticket had been my birthday gift to myself. I'd bought it 3 months earlier, a train home for the holidays, not because I wanted to go, because last year they'd told me I never visited. So I planned it, paid for it, sent them the arrival time. They canceled it without asking, without telling me first the taxi ride home cost $230. I watched the highway lights blur past and tried to feel something clean like anger. But anger would have meant I still expected better. I didn't. I remembered the Christmas I was 14. My brother got a new bike. My sister got a laptop. I got a winter coat from the thrift store and a note that said you're harder to shop for. I remembered the summer I paid their mortgage when Dad was laid off. They never mentioned it afterward. When I brought it up months later, Mom said, "You offered, we didn't ask." That was the pattern. I gave, they took, then they forgot I gave. By the time the taxi pulled into their driveway, I had already stopped feeling the loss. That was the worst part, how quickly my body knew what to do. The house looked the same, lights on in the kitchen, their car in the driveway. They'd been back from their trip for 2 days. They hadn't called to check if I made it home. I walked inside. Mom was at the sink. Dad was in his chair. "Oh, you're here," Mom said. Not mean, just indifferent, like I'd returned a library book on time. "Yep, that taxi must have been expensive." It was. She waited for me to complain. I didn't. I went upstairs to the guest room and closed the door. 3 days passed like that. I was polite. I helped with dishes. I said please and thank you. I did not mention the ticket. I did not mention loser. They grew restless around me, the way people get when furniture starts watching them back. On the fourth night, Mom cornered me in the kitchen. "Are you angry about something?" "No, you've been quiet. I'm just tired." "Tired of what?" I looked at her, really looked. She was 63. She had my grandmother's hands. She had believed. Her whole life that love was something you felt, not something you did. "I'm tired of explaining," I said. So I stopped. She didn't understand. She walked away thinking I was being difficult. That night, I logged into my bank account and stopped the automatic transfer. $500 a month. I'd been sending it for 3 years, not because they asked. Because Dad retired early and Mom's health insurance was expensive. Because I was the one who answered the phone when the bills came. They noticed 10 days later, Dad called. His voice had that edge, the one he used when the world wasn't cooperating. The electric bill bounced. "Okay, what do you mean, okay?" "I mean, I heard you. Your mother is upset." The money didn't go through. I stopped it. Silence. I could hear him breathing. "You stopped it?" "Yes." "Why?" "I didn't say because you called me a loser." That would have started a fight I didn't want. I said I thought I should save for my own taxis. He didn't know what that meant, but he heard my voice, how calm it was, and something in him hesitated. 2 weeks later, my Aunt Claire came for dinner. She'd always been the outlier, the one who never joined when they laughed at me. She watched the table that night, watched Mom interrupt me, watched Dad change the subject every time I spoke, watched me stop trying halfway through the meal. After dessert, she pulled me aside. "What happened?" I told her, not dramatically, just the facts. The ticket, the message, the taxi, the silence. She didn't say I'm sorry. She said, "That's cruelty, plain cruelty." Then she walked into the living room and sat down across from my parents. "Why did you call your child a loser?" she asked. No preface, no softening. Mom froze. Dad opened his mouth, then closed it. "It was a joke," Mom said finally. "It wasn't. We were frustrated. The trip was expensive, so uninvite them. Don't humiliate them." Claire didn't yell. She didn't threaten. She just sat there, solid, and let the truth sit in the room like a smell that wouldn't clear. My parents looked at each other. For the first time, they looked uncomfortable, not because they felt guilty, because someone had seen them. I left the room. I didn't need to watch. The last conversation happened 3 mornings later. I was packing. Mom came to the doorway. "You're leaving?" "Yes." "Are you going to start the payments again?" "No, why not?" I zipped my bag, stood up. We were the same height. "You sent me a message that said, 'Have a nice taxi back home, loser.' You canceled my ticket without telling me. You never asked if I got home safe. You never apologized. And I'm supposed to keep paying your bills." She blinked. "That was weeks ago, I know." "You're holding a grudge." "I'm holding a mirror." I walked past her. Dad was in the hall. He looked older, smaller. "We're family," he said. "That's what makes it worse," I said, and I meant it. I moved out of state 2 months later. They tell relatives they don't know what happened, that I changed, that I got strange. Maybe I did. But strange feels a lot like remembering my own name.